Hey, what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. Um, yeah, let's watch some more stuff. Let's watch more John Ford. Let's hang out, talk some theories, talk some God of War.
What's up, guys and girls? This is going to be the story of Skull, Hati, and Fenrir, and me proving to you
What's going on with the volume. Good start.
What's up, guys and girls? This is going to be the story.
Oh, good start to everything so far. I can't hear anything. You guys hear anything?
What's up, guys and girls? This is going to be the story of Skull, Hati, and Fenrir, and me proving to you that it is the three wolves at the end of the mural where Atreus is walking alongside them. In this video, I'm going to give evidence from the God of War novel, from God of War Lore and Legends, the God of War trailer, and the God of War Ragnarok blog that went up on PlayStation's websites. Also, use the translations that is on the wall as well.
I'm actually seeing that Captain's live right now too. What's up on my speakers, man? Let's try that. Yeah.
What's up, guys and girls? This is going to be the story of Skull.
Oh, that's crazy. I might have to go to my backup set. Hold on just a sec. I think I figured it out. Let's try that.
What's up, guys and girls? This is going to be the story of Skull, Hati, and Fenrir, and me proving to you that it is the three wolves at the end of the mural where Atreus is walking alongside them. In this video, I'm going to give evidence from the God of War novel, from God of War Lore and Legends, the God of War trailer, and the God of War Ragnarok blog that went up on PlayStation's websites. Also, use the translations that is on the wall as well, because I need all of these to really give as much context as possible to the mural so we can figure this out together. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Curious what John Ford has to say, especially about Fenrir. So I want to see how close he gets to my really convoluted idea about Fenrir. Let's see how close it is. Listen, John Ford's the man anyway.
Now, before we get into the big part of the mural, I want to talk about the other part with Atreus walking alongside three wolves. I even have a diagram prepared for you all because I think I really figured out this scene and what's happening here. And I think it's fair to say that I did not do these translations myself on this part or on any other part of the wall. However, people on Reddit went out of their way to translate. Other people who have done separate translations got the same exact translations. Thousands of people have seen the bigger one and nobody disagrees, so I'm just gonna put that out there. Atreus walking alongside three wolves. It says future across future, wolf of wolves. In the God of War novel, Kratos described the three wolves that brought him here as one being white, one being gray, and one being black, and the one that was black was the leader of the two. Also, the moment when Kratos and Atreus was looking at the shrine that showed Skull and Hati, Kratos remarked that when they appeared before him, they were much smaller, and in this picture, they're extremely huge, but they were the same. In Lore and Legends, Atreus was surrounded by wolves, and when these wolves surrounded him, they started to howl, and Atreus felt a buzzing in his head, which made him put down the bow and arrow because he felt so safe. Later on, Kratos would ask Atreus, did they attack? And the mere thought of them attacking made Atreus laugh. And finally, in the God of War Ragnarok trailer, Atreus is holding a pendant, and if you look at the runes on this pendant, it translates to Hati. So let's put all of this together and see what we get in this analysis video. So first, when Kratos gets taken to Scandinavia, he says that there are three wolves that take him. One is white, one is gray, and one is black, which are the colors of Skull, Hati, Fenrir. And he also says that the black one was the alpha, as it took the most forward position, and the black one, of course, being Fenrir, who was the father of the other two. However, after bringing Kratos to Midgard, they actually separated. Then they were discovered by Odin, and Odin fought them. He trapped Skull and Hati, making Fenrir surrender, and then he put Fenrir in Asgard and had Skull and Hati chase the sun and the moon. Here's Mimir's story to confirm that.
Born of the archwolf Hrothwitnir, a great nemesis of the Aesir gods.
Yep.
Odin
Further
captured them as
confirming,
pups and kept
Fafnir.
them in the kennels of Asgard to hold his foe at bay.
Oh my god.
But when the sun and moon grew
Fafnir,
mutinous
there we
and
go.
stood still, Odin
God.
put Skoll and Hati to use. With his ancient magics, he cast the wolves to the heavens, and they began their chase.
After years of being in Midgard, the wolves actually grew extremely large by Kratos' reaction when he seen them on the mural. In lore and legends, we learned that Atreus has some type of connection to the wolves, because once they surrounded him, they all started to howl. He felt a buzzing in his ear and felt extremely safe, as if the wolves were trying to communicate with him. And last but not least, of course, the translation on the mural with Atreus walking alongside these three wolves says, "Future across future, wolf of wolves." I think this confirms that whatever wolves he's walking with came from the future, which is Fenrir, Skull, and Hati. With all of this context on your screen, I believe it all points to it being these three wolves. So the question becomes, why did they come here for the future? And I think Mimir said it best.
Lots more snow, and then the end of the bloody world, in that approximate order.
Another prophecy.
No, brother. Prophecy doesn't expect this for 100 more winters at least. You've changed something. Prophecy didn't count on you.
If you remember,
straight.
there was a hooded woman that was with the three wolves who took Kratos to Midgard.
I think it's
so
Faye.
the question becomes, did this woman intentionally take Kratos to Midgard because prophecy simply did not count on him?
Yeah.
Nothing in this game happened by accident. From Mimir being in the tree, this was all confirmed by God of War 2018's director.
Cuba is live.
A hooded
Yeah, I
woman
saw the
commanded
stream,
the three
just a
wolves
few
that brought
minutes ago.
Kratos here. So this woman intentionally bringing Kratos to Midgard knew eventually Ragnarok would
buddy.
happen because of his presence. That's why this woman brought him here.
It's
That's
story
why she
based on
commanded
that
the
the
three
game is
wolves to
going to
bring
end.
him here.
The game is going to end exactly how the developers make it, and so all your theories need to chill. Boom, roasted. Good one. We'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. We have plenty of time to wait.
This is Kratos' purpose, but who is this woman? Could it have been Faye? Could it
That'd
have
be
been
pretty cool.
Angrboda?
I like that
Somebody
idea.
must have been able to control these wolves to take Kratos here. But who did it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video of me dissecting the last part of the mural. And in the next video, I'm once again going to be going over the first big one where Atreus is holding somebody in his arms. I have a lot to say on that, and I've been holding it in for a couple of years now, making God of War videos. But I'll see you in that video. Deuces.
Stand by for contact. Brace yourself.
What would you do if you went down out here?
You wouldn't want to go down out there.
There we go.
It's worm territory.
Worm always comes.
Alright, let's skip past that. Alright, so, proof Fenrir in God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, we've had proof of Fenrir in God of War Ragnarok since pretty much the start of the game. Literally. I want to see the ending, seriously. I want to see Ragnarok so friggin' bad. And it's gonna be one bad ass fight. Can't wait. Phone keeps going off. I'm gonna go with this one. We haven't talked about this guy for a while. I don't even think at all. Check this out.
What is that place?
Never go there. Understand?
Never go there.
How is he here? That is not possible.
You will rot in the depths of Hades for all eternity.
We are not finished, Zeus. The gates of Hades have never held me.
Very cool.
Your pain is mine.
Streaming at the same time
hands of death could not defeat me.
It's like a...
I will
Oh,
have my
I think those
revenge.
bites too.
Excellent,
That's
child.
he was
I will
dead.
tolerate your insolence no more.
Should be a fight. Camaraderie there.
Death cannot hold
For
those who
sure.
purpose Kratos.
Zeus? My father.
My father.
How's it going, guys? It's Python Selkin here. In today's video, we'll be talking about an interesting theory with regards to a very familiar nemesis from the older games and the God of War franchise.
You will never be the ruler of Olympus.
Apart from his ghostly appearance and the haunting visions from Kratos' past, as many of you might agree, one of the most unexpected moments from 2018's God of War was the shocking appearance of Zeus himself, calling Kratos' name in the realm of the dead,
I like his
Helheim,
voice.
Kratos.
leading Mimir to discover another piece of his Greek pantheon puzzle, one that answered many of his questions. The fact that the king of the Olympian gods was none other than the father of the ghost of Sparta.
My father.
Your father was Zeus? Well, that explains a lot.
Despite many years passing since his death, Zeus still appears to be haunting Kratos with illusions from his past. Illusions which Helheim is known to torture its inhabitants with.
Hell's known for torturing its inhabitants with their own past.
It is time, my son. Look around at what you have done.
Yo, that's
Despite
gonna be,
Kratos'
that's gonna be
concern,
rough running
Mimir
through hell.
warned him that he must
It's
never
actually
go
gonna
to
be
the
pretty cool, I
place
think.
from where this iteration of Zeus appeared. However, Kratos could hear and even see illusions of Zeus all throughout his journey in Helheim. So what further power could the realm of the dead hold in that particular place that could meddle with Kratos' mind that much? And what if it was dangerous enough to expand even beyond the grounds of Helheim? Perhaps similar to the appearance of Athena's higher existence, first seen in the underworld all the way back in the Greek pantheon, yet whose appearance is still haunting Kratos, even in Midgard.
There's nowhere you can hide, Spartan. Put as much distance between you and the truth as you want. It changes nothing.
Let's fight like demons.
Most impressive.
Having said this, one should also keep in mind that the haunting visions from Kratos' past weren't only visible to Kratos, but were also seen by his son, Atreus.
He's gonna have a lot of questions about that.
Come on, we gotta go!
You saw Athena.
You disappoint me, Spartan.
Get out of my head.
Now, if this iteration of Zeus was attempting to reach Kratos in particular, and Kratos knowing all about Zeus was strong enough to ignore it, what about Atreus?
Huh?
Again, I said nothing.
Wait, could have sworn you said something.
What is it, boy?
Voices! You don't hear that?
I hear nothing.
It's going away now. It was screaming. Lots of voices. Angry.
It's just gonna get worse.
You really didn't hear that?
No.
Yeah, his voice is really good. Maybe it was really good narration.
Evil.
As most of you may remember, throughout the game, Atreus is haunted by mysterious voices from an unknown entity. One which he particularly felt was evil.
Wow.
Daddy? Kratos!
Oh, Santa Monica is gonna answer every question. They already said they already put like stuff in the game like 5 games down the road. It's gonna still gonna be a lot.
You don't hear that?
I hear nothing.
It was screaming.
For the future stuff.
Lots of voices. Angry. You cannot change it. It felt evil.
Now, Atreus might not have been aware who Zeus was, But these mysterious voices have been haunting him both in Helheim as well as in other realms. And it's not just hearing voices that seem to be affecting Atreus.
Let me guess. Your brother isn't as talented as you, and his work is junk.
Those things are accurate. Your point?
It's all you ever talk about, over and over. Do something about it or shut up already.
I see.
Yeah! We're sick of hearing about little people's little problems.
Soon after he is told the truth about his godly nature, Atreus starts seeing other people on a much lower level than him, with his attitude taking a colder turn. An attitude which reminds us of someone whom Atreus is blood related to.
We're sick of hearing about little people's little problems.
We have faced far worse than this one fallen mortal. But we are the gods. We whom the mortals worship. We who rule over this land. We who will not be swept aside by this petulant fool.
We can even hear thunder, an iconic trait of Zeus himself, as Atreus starts to raise his voice against Sindri.
Shut up already.
I see.
I think this might have something to do with it.
We're sick of hearing about little people's little problems.
All right. That hurt a little.
Yeah, I imagine it did, dude.
Let's have a look at your gear then.
Now, of course, this change in attitude could be Atreus' own ego growing sky high upon learning of his godly nature. But there are also instances in which Atreus' behavior starts becoming even more suspicious, which could make you think otherwise.
I said no.
But we're gods. We can do whatever we want.
That's what I said to your mother, right before I gave it to her.
What are you doing?
This is a much better knife than others.
Maybe.
But we're gods. We can do whatever we want.
Turn away, boy.
That's what I said to your mother, right before I gave it to her.
It wasn't me. I couldn't have done that.
Do not dwell on those thoughts. Not here.
Yeah.
We must keep moving.
Upon seeing visions of himself killing Modi all the way in Helheim, Atreus reveals that what he saw wasn't him, further stating that he couldn't have done that, which heavily suggests Atreus was actually being possessed by something or someone into doing those actions. Actions that purposely went against Kratos' wishes.
You killed against my wishes. You lost control.
It is also intriguing to note that when Kratos asks Atreus whether he saw an old man back in Helheim, referring to Zeus, Atreus instantly replies, "What old man?" blatantly denying that he ever saw illusions of Zeus, when it's pretty clear that Atreus was indeed looking at the manifested illusions of his father beating Zeus to death.
Yeah.
Boy. Before, when you saw...
I didn't see anything.
You did not see me with someone. An old man.
What old man?
Way to cover it up.
Can we go?
Way to cover it up.
Yes. Very well.
He's got a lot to expect.
Did you say something?
No.
Oh, okay. At least we're getting closer to the light.
The fact that Atreus started hearing voices in his head right before he was consumed by a cold personality and would then be unaware of certain things he was doing strongly suggests that during certain moments, Atreus was being possessed by the same evil entity that spoke to him through the voices in his head.
Kratos.
Whether Zeus is responsible for Atreus' possession remains to be seen, But what we do know for certain is that realms of the dead are an important part of almost every God of War game in the series, so we can definitely expect to see more of Helheim, this huge bird-looking creature, and possibly Zeus himself in God of War Ragnarok.
So badass.
I grow weary, my son.
I didn't see anything.
You did not see me with someone. An old man.
What old man?
In our personal opinion, the fact that Atreus outright denied seeing Zeus in Helheim pretty much felt like something someone would do to keep the attention away from himself. If Atreus truly was under the influence of a potential manifestation of Zeus, we're pretty sure Zeus would enjoy nothing more than to see the most dangerous Norse gods go after Kratos. And if he can't do that by controlling Kratos, he would do this using the closest person next to him.
Nobody cared about him anyways. What's the difference?
There are consequences to killing a god!
Why? How do you know? How do you know?
Know the law.
Watch your tone, boy.
Whatever.
After all you have sought, after all you have sacrificed, it ends in another stunning failure.
This, of course, was just our theory when it comes to this mystery. What are your thoughts on all this? Could Atreus truly be influenced by a malevolent power, possibly manifested by Zeus himself, similar to how Athena influenced Kratos' mind in Midgard? And if you perhaps have a different opinion, who do you think is responsible for these voices and possessions over Atreus? We'd love to hear your own thoughts and theories in the comment section down below. Meanwhile, if you like this video and enjoy all things God of War, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll make sure to return a favor with content you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, Spartans, Python and Selkin, out.
That was a really cool video. I like that. That was very, very cool. Oh, there's Captain Cupid Live right there. Let's see what he's got to say. Let's see what's going on.
But to literally and metaphorically get his hands dirty, because he's all about germs and all that, and he's gonna have to pick up a weapon with his bare hands and actually help them in some way, and he might sacrifice himself. Like I said many times, this is gonna be a sad ending. I'm pretty sure. Like a lot of people are going to die.
Yeah.
A lot of characters.
Yeah. I definitely say it would be an interesting thing to see him pick up an axe and try and fend off Thor or something like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he couldn't hold the Leviathan axe to begin with, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Morton, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, that's about it. Don't want to take too much.
You got about 3 minutes, 2 minutes to be exact. Like, I don't know if you want to say something else real quick.
I'd want to bring up Jormungandr and the massive issue that it stands him being in the game from a story aspect. So, personally, my theory on him is that he's going to join the battle against Thor at one point in Midgard, and the battle will, instead of disabling time through breaking the world tree, it'll disable matter and send Atreus and Kratos to another realm while sending him as well to another realm, which is, my bet would be Muspelheim. So it's a sort of way to hold him off from impacting any future fights or any story moments until Ragnarok.
So at the beginning of the game, you think that they're going to be sent back in time?
No, not time. Just basically the serpent, Jormungandr, placed in a different realm, just for the purpose of him not interfering with fights, because he's a massive plot hole. Unless he gets killed off, which I don't think they're killing him off in the start. He's too much of a fan favorite.
Yeah, no, he won't be. No, I doubt it.
Yes. So I think he gets placed in Muspelheim, and then Kratos and Atreus probably in that breach of the world tree gets sent to the new dwarf land.
Yeah, in my prediction, I said that Thor wouldn't attack Kratos in Midgard because of the serpent. Like, he wouldn't be able to take both Kratos and the serpent at the same time. Yep. So at least Thor will not attack them in Midgard, I think. Thor is open to attack them in any other realm, but he could be sent to another realm, like you said, as well.
Yeah, just to close it off, I do hope that Jormungandr gets a bit more feats, I guess, in the new game. He's got the gravitas of a huge monster, but
Wait, what did you say? Some feats? Can you repeat that?
Yes, I hope he gets more like combat feats and things like that.
Oh, okay. I'm like, is that a joke because he's a snake and he has no legs?
Like just combat. Not talent, but just examples of how he's strong.
Right, yeah.
The poor guy got knocked out by Boulder in like 3 hits. So I really hope he does some stuff in the next game.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll be important, man. Well, Martyr, thank you so much for stopping by, dude. I'm gonna let in.
This dude's got it made.
Did I talk to Gypsy Boy? I don't think I have. All right, see ya, Martyr.
Alrighty, see ya.
Take it easy, man. Gypsy Boy.
Seriously. Oh, what can we watch? Oh, you see, like, all the crap that I watch. Let's see. History of Baldur. That'd be kind of cool.
The Bangor Daily News says Maine should vote no on Question 1 because Question 1 is an overreach that could have far-reaching negative implications. That's right, far-reaching and negative. Vote no on Question 1.
And another one. Sweet! Good start. It's kind of cool, though. What is this? Butter? Terror on Tubi. Actually, Tubi's pretty good.
Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and welcome to yet another God of War video. I hope you like this double whammy back-to-back episode lineup, as this video should be going up at the same time the History of Kratos is live. I will have a link for it pop up at the end of this video, and also down in the description below. Now, it seemed only right that if we're talking about Kratos' rogue gallery, we talk about the villain that has really helped introduce us into this new age of God of War with the Nordic pantheon. So today, I will be talking about a son of the All-Father Odin and Valkyrie Queen Freya, the immortal Baldur. Now, just before we start, it is absolutely worth mentioning here that these aren't accurate depictions of the Norse gods. What we have here is instead a twisted mirrored reflection of the source material's characters, having them embody the more monstrous and dark aspects of their Viking-inspired origins. So, with that said, let's actually begin, shall we? To talk about Baldur, we must first talk about his heritage, as he is of Asgardian descent, being a child of the All-Father Odin and Vanaheim's Freya. He would naturally be gifted with incredible strength and power. Now, Baldur's birth is actually very, very important, as it somewhat symbolizes and represents a coming of age for the realm of Asgard. Before this point, the Aesir gods of Asgard had been in a very, very long blood feud with the Vanir gods of Vanaheim. This conflict would last for centuries until the leader of both respective clans would come together and marry. So Baldur could be seen as the somewhat pride and joy of these two tribes, as it did build bridges and usher in an era of peace. But this is quickly where the tale does fall apart. The House of Odin was a rather hostile one, as the Aesir gods really embodied their warrior spirit lifestyle, and they fought as hard as they drank. They were baptized in war, blood, and battle, and this was something Baldur relished in, taking on the traditions of his father's side, much to the dismay of his mother Freya. To Freya, Baldur was her pride and joy, and with Odin quickly mentally deteriorating as he'd become infatuated with Ragnarok and his prophesied death, Freya would cast a spell upon Baldur, one that would protect him and grant him immortality. But unfortunately, this would come at a price for the Odinson. Baldur would be robbed of all senses of smell, touch, and taste. And
That
whilst
would
it may
suck,
be
dude.
seen as a blessing from Freya's perspective, in Balder's eyes, this was a curse, as he could no longer truly enjoy the sensations of living. And whilst he pleaded for his mother to remove this, she would refuse to do so, believing that this was her way of eternally protecting him. So after a very quick physical dispute between the two, Balder walks away from Freya, uttering that he never wished to see her again. And
Probably
this
hurts more.
marks the last time the two actually interact with each other before the events of the 2018 game. Now, beyond this point, a number of different events transpire. Freya leaves Odin, who curses her to Midgard, and Balder fully embraces his Aesir heritage, now taking on orders and missions from the Allfather to avert Ragnarok. It is widely believed that Balder did this in the hopes that his father would be strong enough to one day undo his mother's spell, but even with the Allfather's knowledge of Vanir magic, he simply could not break its hold. What follows from here is a century of chaos and madness for the Nine Realms and Balder, with the god now going out and exercising his will as a son of Odin and basks in the blood of his enemies. But it's here where there's a drastic change in Balder's character. Being stripped of emotion and mortality, it started to blur the lines of what was right and what was wrong for the god. So, in many ways, he became a heartless machine, and after years of doing this, he could simply be seen as an extension of Odin's will. So the Allfather's madness would begin to spill into the mind of Balder and poison his already very conflicted morality. After years of killing Asgard's enemies, Balder would be assigned a very special mission by his father. He would be tasked with killing a frost giant in Midgard. The reason why this was such a special mission is because the frost giants were believed by many for a long time to have been extinct. As once Brock and Sindri forged the hammer Mjolnir for Thor, he went on a bloody massacre across Midgard, forcing many of the Jotuns to flee back home and disappear with the assistance of Tyr. But this wasn't entirely the case, as apparently one had eluded Odin's gaze. That is, until now. Once the Allfather caught attention of this frost giant, he would send Balder to swiftly deal with it. But little did they know what and who they would stumble across. With the location of the frost giant revealed, Balder would quickly travel to an isolated forest in the depths of Midgard, and here he would find a hut. Wanting to relish this moment, as he had never truly been able to experience the glory his half-brother had, he lures out an ashen white brute and begins to toy with him, mocking how the Jotuns were so full of themselves with their benevolent knowledge. After taunting him endlessly, Balder eventually forces the hand of the Pale Warrior to attack him, and realizing he has a fight worthy of his full attention, Balder would strike back and uppercut the Ashen Warrior through his rooftop and into the back of his home. Their battle would shatter the very foundation of the forest, splintering the trees and crackling the earth beneath their feet as they trade blow for blow. But during this battle, Balder realizes that he is protecting something. He's hiding someone within his home, and curious, the Aesir god tries to force his way into the house, but this guardian would have none of it, sending him crashing throughout the land and even collapsing a pillar on top of him. But much to his shock and horror, Balder still stands and reveals that even now, this means nothing to him, as he feels nothing. So whilst the battle is very back and forth, Balder does have his neck snapped and is dropped off a cliff. But it does not spell the end for the Odinson, as his pursuit is far from over. Following this, Balder would return back to Asgard and would recruit his two nephews, Magni and Modi. But before he begins to track them down, he wants to truly know what exactly he's going up against. So Balder would travel back to Midgard and consult with the smartest man in all of the realms, Mimir. But this interrogation of the former Aesir god does fail, as Mimir simply refuses to help the offspring of the man who tortures him on a daily basis. Whilst disappointed, this does not halt Balder in his pursuit, and the trio decide to split up, with the sons of Thor travelling north, whilst Balder himself decides to stick to the east. Once he learned of Mimir's somewhat escape, and how the two two are pursuing Falmer's
Part of
chisel,
him
he
escaped.
eagerly awaits the two to return to the top of the mountain, believing that they are attempting to return to Jotunheim to escape the Aesir once more. But once the bridge is open, Balder would ambush the two, and they are nearly defeated as the Guardian is overpowered by Balder. It's here the Immortal turns his gaze towards Atreus and begins to believe that he's actually the mastermind behind all of this, using Kratos as some sort of bodyguard to escape the clutches of Odin. So he would attempt to
Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
Pain.
subdue the young man, and this understandably invokes the rage of Kratos, who engages with Balder once again. The battle causes the bridge of Jotunheim to collapse, and this turns Atreus' anger to his father, who he stuns with an arrow. And the Aesir god simply can't help but laugh in joy at the sight of this dysfunction between the two, seeing as it does mirror his own, and I quote, fucked up family. Now, the overconfidence of Atreus is his downfall, as he does attempt to fight Balder one-on-one, but as expected, he is quickly overpowered and knocked unconscious. With the apparent mastermind captive, Balder climbs onto his dragon and travels to the Bifrost to take his prize home. But this is the furthest thing from easy, as the Guardian is able to recover from his wounds and battles Balder atop his dragon. The Aesir god is able to shake him off, but not before he can wound his dragon's wings, causing it to crash atop the Bifrost. Regardless of this, Balder is able to lock in Asgard on the Bifrost and prepares for the inevitable defeat of the duo. But in a final-ditch effort, the Guardian is able to alter the destination of the Bifrost, and instead, the three are pulled into the dreaded realm of Helheim. So, once again, Balder is denied his glory and victory. Now, this is a realm that Balder really doesn't want to be cast into. You see, Helheim is one of the very few realms where the Aesir gods can truly die and suffer, as the cold winds can pierce through your godhood. The realm itself is built on the foundation of agony, death, and suffering, so it will actively torture you as you attempt to escape from it. Something that Balder very quickly succumbs to, as he's forced to once again relive the painful memory of his last interaction with Freya, and how he feels like he was too weak to kill her for cursing him. Whilst he's robbed of his senses, the trauma of this memory crumbles him to his knees, as he weeps that he's a coward for not being stronger. As Kratos and Atreus are able to escape, Balder is stranded in the realm for what feels like an eternity, as time actually moves much slower in Helheim. But eventually, he is able to once again track down Atreus and the Guardian, and finds that they have traveled deep into the gut of the world serpent, Jormungandr. Now, whilst the world serpent is destined to face Thor in the end days of Ragnarok, this doesn't stop the Aesir god from wanting to fight the Leviathan himself, and eventually he's able to force up his target from the belly of the beast. Once Balder emerges from the waters of the Lake of the Nine, he is surprised to see that his mother is there. Whilst curious, he understandably has not forgotten what she has done to him, especially with his trip to Helheim. So he does set forth to correct his wrongs, but it's here where he's stopped by the man in white. Kratos warns him that the path he walks is one that will only spell more pain and suffering, but Balder does not heed his words. And not wanting to let this opportunity slip through his fingers, he and Kratos break into another fight, but not before something truly remarkable happens. Upon punching Atreus, Balder's hand is cut open, and for the first time in centuries, he actually feels something. And as he gazes at the mistletoe arrow in his hand, he sees the spell slowly become undone. You see, the spell that Freya had cast upon Balder was an incredibly powerful and obscure one that not even the Allfather knew how to break. But there was one single thing in all of the 9 realms that could break this spell over him. Mistletoe, something lodged in Atreus' bow to hold his quiver together. So unfortunately, Freya is now forced to bear witness to her son fighting Kratos and Atreus, a battle of such epic proportions that even Freya herself gets involved by reviving a dead giant. But alas, it is to no avail, as the two are defeated with the assistance of Jormungandr. With Kratos victorious, he wraps his hands around the neck of Baldur and begins to tighten it. But before he can kill him, Atreus has his father spare him, giving him another chance to reunite with his mother. It may be naive, but at this moment, Atreus hopes that the Aesir god may finally see the error of his ways, but tragically, Baldur has neither the heart or soul to forgive his mother, as he still attempts to follow through on his wishes. But before he can accomplish his goal, his grip is broken and he's taken hold of by Kratos. And he questions him, why would he go to such extents to stop him? To which Kratos replies, is that he needs to break the cycle. So Kratos kills Baldur by snapping his neck. And the last thing Baldur would feel is the cold white snow pressing against his face as he finally succumbs to death's cold embrace. Something I would imagine he would welcome after a lifetime of feeling nothing. Thus, this actually spells the end for the Aesir god, as his soul would be cast into the afterlife. Whether that be hell or Valhalla is something we are yet to learn about. But Baldur's death invokes a very important moment in a much bigger picture, Ragnarok. Baldur's death in Norse mythology marks a sign of the end days, as what follows after this point is a 3-year-long winter known as Fimbulwinter before Ragnarok itself does begin. And of course, Ragnarok is a sign of the end of the Asgardian pantheon. What comes next though is something we do have to wait and see, as it will be explored in God of War Ragnarok. Now, I can't deny that out of all the history of episodes I've ever done, this is one that has interested me the most, as it goes to show just how important perspective is. If you can't quite tell, I've purposely not been referring to Kratos by name, at least as much as possible, because if you don't know, Baldur himself doesn't know it for what is the whole game. As far as he knows, this is a frost giant. This is his natural enemy as an Aesir god. The lines of sight and perception are such an important aspect of 2018's game, and this ranges from character to character in so many different ways. Kratos, for example, shelters the sins of his past out of fear of how Atreus may see him if he learns of it. Atreus himself seeks a parental figure, but struggles to find one in how distant his father is. Freya wishes to protect her son, even if it comes at the cost of his humanity and their relationship, and Baldur wishes to right that wrong, even if that means at the cost of the only person that truly had ever loved him. It's all very interesting character writing and development, and I think that's what really sits at the heart and core of the 2018 installments. It's complex written storytelling with people who have conflicts and interests that are pitted against each other. Whilst really Baldur has a very small role in the game, his story is so understandable and resonates so well in it. He's actually more human than he would like you to think. But for now guys, that has been it for the history of Baldur. I really do hope you've enjoyed these back-to-back episodes. This has been a really special project for me to put together, and I can't wait to bring you more. Originally, I was very skeptical on making this episode, as I was debating doing Ares first, but seeing as the Nordic gods are where the series is pushing forward, it seemed only right to make the first antagonist video we do on someone that kind of sets the tone going forward. But in saying that, the next episode will be on Ares, as he is pivotal in Kratos' rise to power and the legacy and ideology he does leave behind. I will be exploring that in next week's episode. But until then guys, that has been it for me. Now please, before this video does wrap up, let's try getting it to about 500 likes, and please do not forget to tick that bell and subscribe, as the best way to keep up to date with all of my content. So now, as always, please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I will see you all next time.
That was a cool video. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Well, you guys, 500, 851. No, that was very good. I'm very happy with that video. Why are the giants dead? Let's watch some Captain Cuba.
Fine. No one leaves the table till you're finished.
Fine. We'll sleep here.
It's the easiest because it's the cheesiest.
There's a guy on
Craft
YouTube that
for the
uploads
win-win.
audio God of War 2018 in the game.
There's a new
I
soap.
have to check that out.
Can you smell it?
I haven't read it. Maybe I listened to it on I don't know. There we go. Hold up. I think God of War Ragnarok is coming out 2022 because they released God of War 2018 on PC to get more people hyped about the new game. Yeah, I actually did see that they did release it on PC. That's pretty friggin' awesome. Yes, it would give people more hyped. Absolutely. And more people should be hyped. This is going to be a fantastic game. I might check out the God of War 1 and 2. That's kind of cool. Alright, Captain, come on. Turn up my mic. Alright, hold up. Real quick, turn up my mic. Let's try that. Let's try that. Come on, Captain, say something, buddy. How long have we watched this so far? Like almost a minute.
Goodbye, Faye.
I love you, Mom.
Come on,
Giants.
Captain.
They really are all gone.
Are they though?
There's
Are
nothing
they?
for us here.
That's better. Good.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Captain Cuba here, and today I will try to provide an answer for an age-old God of War question. What happened to the giants in Jodenheim?
Okay.
This question has been bothering me since I played the game for the first time, and today I suspect I have a valid answer. But first we have to understand why this is an important question to begin with. Many years before the events of the game, Tyr managed to help the giants escape the wrath of Thor by taking them to Jodenheim, and also hiding their tower in the realm between realms. So if the giants made it safely into Jodenheim, why are they all dead? After all, the only enemies the giants had were the Aesir gods, and they couldn't get into Jodenheim by any means known to them. So what happened to the giants? Some fans have proposed the idea that the giants simply died of old age, but this can't be the case. If you look closely at their bodies, you will see most of them have weapons near their hands, and even their blood splatter on the mountains. Clearly a battle took place in Jodenheim, and the giants lost. But who were they
Kind of
fighting?
want to translate that.
Not only do I believe they were fighting the Aesir gods, but I believe they were fighting the famous Ragnarok battle.
Okay.
As evidence, I would like to remind you that the only context in which all the giants die in Norse mythology is during the Battle of Ragnarok. But how is this possible? Since Baldur's death signified the start of Fimbulwinter,
Young
followed by
G.
Ragnarok. Well, do you remember what Mimir
Ares
told
was
Kratos
OP
when
as
they
hell
went to
and he-
Helheim? Here, I'll play it for you again.
Time doesn't move the same between all realms, especially where the spirit world is concerned.
Like the land of Alfheim.
The opposite, in fact. The Lake of Souls feels faster than Alfheim time, but Hell is much slower than Midgard. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm sure that's confusing.
So
Ares
apparently
was
time is experienced differently in each
badass, he
realm.
really
The
was.
same
I
applies to
loved it.
Jotunheim.
Loved-
When Kratos and
loved
Atreus
that
returned to
battle.
Midgard, Mimir says the following.
Before
Yeah,
we
if
return
normal
to
release
Midgard,
schedule
I
will
should
probably
warn
be
you.
in the spring
More time
then.
has passed than you likely realize.
So, yeah, I
So
can't
if Mimir
wait.
thinks more time has
That's why they
passed
call
since
them
Kratos and Atreus went to Jotunheim, then it means time passes faster in Jotunheim than it does in Midgard.
Dak would
We don't know
still be
exactly
better.
how much faster, but as an
maybe.
example, let's just say that
Maybe.
20 minutes in Jotunheim equals to 4 weeks in Midgard. First of all, this means that time travel to the future is possible in the God of War universe.
Right.
For a funny example, imagine Atreus is looking forward to the
That's
release
how
date of
Jormungandr got
Cyberpunk
to the friggin' Lake
2077,
of Nine.
but sadly he has to wait a full month until the game comes out. Now, he could wait a month in Midgard until the game releases, but if he really wanted to play the game that same day, he could simply go to Jotunheim for 20 minutes, and when he'd returned to Midgard, a month would have gone by without him noticing. But how does this apply to the dead giants in Jotunheim?
That's a good
Well,
point.
this is where it's going to get confusing. I believe the Jotunheim we went to is the Jotunheim from the previous timeline, the one where Ragnarok already happened. This would
Okay.
be the famous fight in which Jormungandr was sent back to the past. This would change how we view the mural at the end of the game. Instead of thinking the mural predicts the future, it could be that it's simply telling the story of what already happened from the giants' point of view. If you think this is crazy, wait until you hear my next point. I believe Kratos and Atreus arrived in Jodenheim only after a day or two had passed since the Battle of Ragnarok had taken place. I say this because their bodies are still fresh. They haven't decomposed like the giants' remains we see in Midgard. Once again, this is possible because time in Jodenheim goes faster than in Midgard.
Right.
So let's say while the Battle of Ragnarok took only 3 hours to be completed, Kratos and Atreus completed their 30-hour journey just in time to witness the aftermath of the Ragnarok battle. I can already see the comments refuting my theory, but I honestly think we're making a lot of assumptions when it comes to timelines in the story.
Yeah,
so to make it simpler, just forget everything Mimir told us about the Aesir gods, because these stories could very well have taken place in the first timeline, the one we never experienced. So if we do this, what do we really know about the Aesir gods? We only know that they're after the last giant. That's all we know for sure. Now I want to show you 2 moments that could prove Ragnarok already happened for the Aesir gods. First is seen after Magni's death. This is Modi's reaction.
How did you...
You can tell Modi found this event surprising. Now this could be because he didn't know Kratos was a god killer, but his surprise could also be as a result of a prophecy being changed. You see, Magni and Modi are one of the few gods that survive Ragnarok.
Right.
If this fight with Kratos takes place after a victorious Ragnarok battle, then Modi will surely be surprised at Magni's death, because Kratos once again changed prophecy.
You've changed something. Prophecy didn't count on you.
This is really cool.
Later, Modi says something else that caught my attention.
You ruined everything. I earned that fucking hammer.
He says to Kratos, I earned that hammer. This is also something that happens after the events of Ragnarok.
Hey,
he never says,
Victoria?
I will earn the hammer. For him, the hammer is pretty much his, since the Battle of Ragnarok already took place, and the last thing he needed to do for the Aesir gods was capture the last giant. This means that the Aesir gods aren't simply trying to stop Ragnarok from happening, but they're trying to stop it from happening again. So I guess the story for the next game will be somewhat similar to God of War 2. Kratos and Atreus will find a way to turn back time and bring back the giants to life, for another go at the Battle of Ragnarok. Now I know you're ready to write your comments disproving my crazy time travel theory, but the truth is, you can do that with almost anything. Even an amazing movie like Endgame has plot holes. So before you take apart my theory, I'm gonna have to ask you this question. If the giants made it safely into Jodenheim, who killed the giants? In my theory, I used time relativity and a previous timeline. 2 things that are already confirmed in the series. If you can do better than I did, I will admit it. Hell, I'll even make a video explaining this theory. Now, as the final nail in the coffin, I'm going to show you a video in which Cory Barlog responds very suspiciously to his future plans for the theme of time in the series.
There's such a big theme about time, and I don't know if I fully understand it. I gotta like beat this game like 5 more times, but it's, you know, Atreus or Kratos going into the light and the time being different, and then Mimir has a line about Helheim moving slower than Midgard, and I'm just wondering. And then of course the end when Thor comes and it says years later. It's just all these elements of like, well, you know, time moves differently in places.
All right, that's a very, very, very good point, and kind of yes after Ragnarok in mythology. It's kind of confusing. All right, so. Okay, revive. I don't see why Freya can't revive Baldur. It might have something to do with her Vanir magic. Maybe she can't do it. I'm not so sure because I don't know quite the rules about that. I heard it's about Baldur. Yeah, in myth, Baldur does survive Ragnarok, because think about it, like the afterlives of the Norse pantheon, Valhalla, Folkvang, Hell, all the afterlives kind of go to the battlegrounds and fight it out. So it is still kind of possible that Baldur will survive Ragnarok, because he's back out of hell and kind of back alive again. So I don't know even if Freya will have to, you know? So it all depends how close they're going to get to mythology, at least. I think it's going to be pretty close, but probably way more friggin' epic.
I want to like dive deep into that, but I don't know if that's like setting up things to come or...
Yes, it is.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff in the World Serpent talks.
I like how he has Brock and Sindri's symbol.
You have to rely on
right here on
Mimir.
his chest.
Yeah, he's giving you all the information. And he totally doesn't.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what he's planning. But if my theory is correct, then it means time will be attached to realms differently. How this will work out remains to be seen. Cory Barlog might just change the way in which we talk about time travel. So what do you guys think? Is it possible Kratos and Atreus stumble across the aftermath of the Ragnarok battle and that's the reason why the giants are dead? Or do you think something else happened to them? These are interesting questions that you can tackle in the comment section below. As always, I want to give a big thanks to all of my channel members. People like Stefac, Ron Solo, and Reap210, to name a few, really go above and beyond to support the channel. I would also like to thank all of my subscribers for their support. This channel would be nothing without you guys. So if you liked the video, make sure to hit like and share with fellow God of War fans.
I liked and I did. Did my part. Alright, real quick. One more. Giants full plane revealed. I love it.
Ceramides are naturally found in your skin to help seal in moisture and seal out harmful elements.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This video is going to be one of the biggest theories I think I've ever made on the channel. But before we go into it, I just want to say, yes, I know I took a week break. Everybody's been asking where I am. I'm getting tons of messages on all my social medias. I had to take a step back because I recently got so busy with my personal life that I needed to take a step back. Also, I had to put the channel in a different direction. I can't just do God of War anymore, but that will still be the main focus on this channel. Special thanks to, again, my YouTube channel members. Oh my god, thank you guys so much for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. Also, a special shout out to Twilight for pretty much running my Discord server by himself. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Twilight.
That's really cool.
You can message me on Twitter and Discord, but I get like 100 messages every 2 weeks. It's kind of crazy, and I'm trying my best to answer everybody. With that being said,
pause it, John. And another thing, do you think Brock and Sentry went to the other pantheons because Brock knows what foreign magic is, and in Tyr's shop you can see a Medusa shield? I think, yeah, because dwarves are very mischievous. They could slip between the realms at a drop of a hat. I think, yeah, I think a lot of the dwarves have traveled. Especially since we do go to Durlin's place in Svartalheim. At least it looks like Svartalheim in the God of War Ragnarok trailer. And he's been like everywhere. So I think dwarves are probably pretty good travelers. And we're probably going to learn that soon.
let's get right into the video. In the last video, I talked about how I knew the giants exist all around the world. I think they were put there on purpose by Tyr. We learned Tyr traveled to other myths, Greek...
Hold on. Giants exist around the world and Tyr put them there. That's cool. I like that idea.
Giant Egyptian and Chinese mythologies. It could be possible he left giants all over the world during his travels to all of these realms and myths that exist in the world. I'll speak about that more in a little bit. Atreus, I feel, was chosen as the next guardian. We are all aware he has a bigger purpose in this world. It's been a mystery until this video. Before I go into the Giants' plan, let's break down the Giants' return message found in Jodenheim at the end of the game, and prove Atreus is actually the next Guardian. After all, like Kratos says,
this is our story.
No. This is your story. This is your story.
Maybe Loki will take
we
over.
We foresee Midgard's fate, overrun a second hell. Neither Odin nor his dead may reach Jodenheim. The ways must be shut. This line is acknowledging this time in the future they are looking at. When the dead are roaming free, people are coming back to life. And hell is pretty much taking over Midgard. At this time is when Atreus' journey began.
Titans, maybe.
The serpent and the guardian remained. The only giant left in Midgard is the serpent. Well as Atreus, who is also a giant.
Right.
Son and grandson of Lufe. When doom befalls the indestructible, only then shall the guardian return. The guardian and the serpent are the final hope for the giants. Once they beat the indestructible, Only then can the Guardians return. Meaning, after Baldur, the Indestructible, falls, the Guardians shall now go to Jotunheim. As soon as we defeated Baldur, the next thing we did was go to Jotunheim. The final line says, "We will wait for word that the gods grow good." Now, this line represents the arguments of perspective seen all throughout the game. Kratos has known nothing but bad gods. From the moment after the Baldur fight, when Kratos and Atreus are in the caves, after Kratos says men should not pray to monsters while discussing the gods, up to the end of the game, Atreus and his father go back and forth between good gods and bad gods. To Atreus, there are good gods. He says this multiple times. He believes gods can be good, and he uses Tyr as an example of this. So the last line in that paragraph saying we wait for when the gods grow good, I think that this final line is representing Atreus the Guardian's viewpoints on gods.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
What is? Worshipping the gods?
The gods care nothing for them. Men should not pray to monsters. You are God.
Leader of the Vanir, once
don't
yes,
like gods very much.
but no longer.
You did not think it important to tell me.
Harsh,
You
but
cannot trust her.
Because she's
guys,
a god?
can you really blame
taught you
Kratos for
nothing,
that?
boy.
Not really.
So there are good gods. Is this what it is to be a god? Is this how it always ends?
Kinda.
Sons killing their mothers? Their fathers?
Who I was is not who you be.
I truly believe that this is basically saying that Atreus is the Guardian that's depicted at the end of the game. Now that I proved to you that Atreus is in fact the Guardian that is at the end of the game, and that he is an essential piece to the Giants' plan, what is the plan exactly?
What is the plan?
Now, what I'm about to say kind of ties into the phase plan video that I did. Also, a video about how Odin knew Kratos and Atreus was going to Jotunheim. I used the lost pages for that video. Now, thank you for the positive feedback on both these two videos, but you don't have to watch them to continue on with this because I'm going to explain it anyways.
Cool.
But let's get into the Giants' plan.
Let's do it. Oh, damn bumper. Giants
When
plan.
Odin traveled to Jotunheim with Tyr in order to propose a truce with the Giants,
Guardian,
Odin had a
he's probably
secret
got passed it
agenda
off
to figure out
Loki,
how to stop
aka
Ragnarok.
Atreus.
Once Odin was exposed, they cursed him never being able to step foot in Jotunheim again. They asked Tyr to close all the ways to Jotunheim. Now that is confirmed in the game as well as the lost pages. However, this is where my theory comes in. What we didn't know was that the Giants also told Tyr to create a secret path to get to Jotunheim. This is how I think that happened. Tyr standing next to Faye, both were given a task by the Giants to ensure the Guardian will eventually make it to Jotunheim. At the same time, they were telling Luffy she no longer had to fight and that she doesn't need to do it anymore.
Because they're both warriors who have reached a point in their life where they don't want to fight anymore.
Right.
Because they both see through the reasons of why they've been fighting. And meeting at that time, at that exact moment, when both of them are willing to set their weapons down, right, changes fundamentally both of them.
The Giants and Faye saw a boy named Loki in the future, a new Guardian, a new hope. The Giants telling Faye this Guardian she will meet as she travels in Midgard. She travels in Midgard only to find out later, after falling in love with Kratos, that the Guardian will be her own son. She saw the future and realized she must lay down her arms and prepare Loki for the future he would eventually embark on with his father and the hardships of Midgard and going against the Aesir. She needed to protect him during this time. So she decides to hide them in the forest, setting up protection runes to hide them. She will choose another path. She will choose Loki. The Giants gave Tyr his mission.
This is a
As
great
Luffy
theory, man.
cares, provides, and raises the Guardian, Tyr will make a path to Jotunheim. A way he can do, but still keep secret from Odin and the rest of the Norse gods. Tyr will be the gatekeeper, setting up challenges, puzzles, and trials only the Guardian and Kratos can get through. The giants knew the future. This is why some of the puzzles can only be solved with the Leviathan Axe or the Blades of Chaos, both the Leviathan Axe's freezing ability and the Blades of Chaos eventually being able to harness the winds of hell. They were specifically designed with these two weapons in mind. The giants themselves will also influence the future, giving Mimir the jewels in his eye since they know he will be there at that point in time. With Faye guiding the Guardian to Jodenheim, and Tyr creating the path Faye will guide them down, ensures that the Guardian shall return to Jotunheim. And when he does, he will spread the ashes, signaling the giants who will remain to come home. Fimbulwinter has begun and we are on the eve of Ragnarok.
Yeah,
come home and you will be under the protection of the new Guardian. He and the Serpent will rise to fight the Aesir. We need your help. To the giants in Greek, Egypt, China, and everywhere else. Now, how do I know the giants are alive and scattered? Well, one, I kind of covered this in a recent video. You can go watch that if you want. But also, look at the Guardians page again that I showed you. It said at the end, we are waiting for that world. They're waiting for when Atreus goes to Jotunheim. They're waiting for their last hope, the new Guardian, to step up. Kratos said at the end of the game that this is Atreus' story. The giants, Faye and Tyr, they all came together to bring Atreus to Jotunheim, for Loki to actually save them all. Ragnarok started because of this journey that we embarked on. Faye is no longer here because she wanted us to go on this journey. Corey said that Kratos wouldn't need that push, and that push was Baldur coming down. But remember, Baldur only found them because Kratos destroyed the protection room.
I think it's a
Faye forced the journey to start on her terms, on her time. Tyr laid out the path, and Faye marked the path before she fled. Everything comes and circles around not Kratos, but it circles around Atreus.
I am strong enough to let you
Let's go shout out the gun. That's pretty cool. He's cool, dude.
with all my might, and I will pull my whole heart up to the surface. For the innocent, for the vulnerable, and I'll show up on the front lines with a purpose. And I'll give all I have, I'll give my blood, give my soul.
All right, John, you got it, buddy. If there's something wrong with it. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect. Unless it's actually dead on, I guess. Well, we won't know until, God of Ragnarok gets released. They keep saying it's the end of the Norse saga. But what if it's a two-parter? So
and that is the end of my giant plan theory video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit that like button and share it. It really helps out the channel a lot. I think that this is crazy. I'm getting myself hyped just recording this, to be perfectly honest with you. But like I said earlier, I'm going to expand the channel. I can't just do God of War anymore, sadly, but I'm gonna be here for God of War regardless. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys for listening. Deuces.
Deuces. He's a cool fucking dude. Yeah, I wonder what else he's gonna do. Hold on, I'm just gonna check out his community real quick. Yeah, and I voted on a couple of things. Whatever. Should I vote on all those things? Just about. Alright. I'm really curious what's going to happen with John in the future. Especially since he says he's going to focus on some other stuff as well. I'm really excited for him. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We're just going to have to, wait and see. Because he used to do a lot of, I think it was like Metal Gear stuff back in the day. So I wonder if he's going to pick back up on that as well. So I'm all about people expressing themselves and people like doing different stuff here and there. Like I thought about doing a little bit more gameplay on the channel as well, kind of dabbling with the idea. So I don't know. I'm there. I'm kind of there as well. Kind of mix it up a little bit, keep things fresh, but still do God of War stuff, of course. I'm not getting away from the God of War stuff. So yeah. I think that is going to do it for today, guys. Wicked tired today. I gotta go meet my in-laws. I'm already late. So, hey, but thank you everybody for coming out. I will see you guys next week. Wait, I don't know. Either way, I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Hit me up in the comments and let's talk some God of War. All right, guys.